Hi, I'm Lex Anderson from the Balance Runner. I teach people how to improve their running technique and how to run. I'm here on the behest of John Sheridan from Burley Strength to talk to some of you powerlifters who, like all of us, are in lockdown and may think it's a good thing to get out and have a run and probably find that a little bit difficult than you first thought. The biggest thing is not to be disappointed to start with, and particularly for those of you that are bigger, the thing to remember is running is a motor skill, and it's probably not a skill that you've used very often. So it's just like lifting, your skill set in it is going to be very, very poor, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to give you one or two things to upscale your skill set. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is why would my running be poor? And the deal is, it's the same for everybody. When you're born, you can't really move, and as you slowly learn to move, you crawl, then you walk, then you run. The unfortunate thing with running is all I knew before that was really crawling and walking, and largely walking. So when I walk, that is significantly different to when I run. When I walk, I always have a foot on the ground. When I run, if I am a good runner, I only have one foot on the ground for a very, very, very limited time. So largely running is off the ground. Walking is on the ground. Running, as I said, involves the two feet being off the ground. It's exactly how you get disqualified in race walking. So I can't have 2 feet on the ground. For a lot of you, when you run, you'll probably notice, when you set your mind to it, that your feet are very rarely off the ground, and that's starting to tell you that really you're not running. You're doing what one of my triathletes calls run walking, and it's very, very common. Most runners will, and I know this is going to sound very weird, will run one leg and walk the other. In other words, and I'm not sure if you can see me in frame, but one leg will do this, will come over and do something like this, and the other leg will do this. And if you're right-handed, it's more likely that your right leg will do this and your left leg will do that. You can sort of see they're two different motions. Obviously, what I do is try to turn them into the same motion so it can be efficient, so they can just roll, and I don't have one leg blocking at the ground and one leg running. The thing that's one of the first things we come to. How we initially approach that is basically to look at your balance. Okay, so most people when they run aren't balanced straight away. Because of that, you can sort of see there's an imbalance in my legs when I hit the ground, so there's an imbalance in my body. One of the first things you'll notice, particularly when you see people that run when they're tired, you'll notice that their arms do two different things and they flail around. So the very, very first thing we do in any session is to balance your arms. It's to start to work on your peripheral balance and balance, if you like, just your moving joints. So the first thing we talk about is I would get you to run. I'll look at your arms. 99.9 times out of 100, the arms will be unbalanced. Okay, so if I run and I swing my arms and I'm doing this, if you watch, you'll notice that if I freeze for a second, one arm's higher than the other, which means one side of my body's up, one side of my body's down. Now that has an impact on my legs. That carries weight backwards and forwards. So what I've got to do is find a way to balance my arms so that they're actually at the same height. So the cue, the movement pattern we use is that you put your arms into a triangle, and you can all do this. You just simply put your arms into a triangle, and then you just simply move your elbows backwards and forwards. And you can see, as soon as I do that, my elbows are balanced, okay? My shoulders are balanced. My hips, more balanced. Not perfect, but they are better. So all I've got to do is that triangle. Now, a lot of you have probably been told, swing your arms straight. Trouble with swinging your arms straight is, and it's for a sprinter, 100-meter sprinters can do this because they have what we call a half swing. They do this. They don't swing back. As a distance runner or as a casual runner, you'll want to run distance and get fitter. So you need to basically avoid your shoulder blade. So if I swing straight, you'll see I swing back, I hit my shoulder blade, I turn and rotate. If I go wide at the same angle I elbow somebody, you notice I don't move. So it means all my force then goes forward, not sideways to sideways to sideways to sideways. Okay, so there I am. I'm in my triangle, I'm running. So the next thing we'd say to you is, okay, do that, run say 30 meters, and then stop and think about how it felt. Run another 30 meters, stop and think how it felt. Now run 30 meters the normal way you normally run, and what you'll notice immediately is it's different. Probably the biggest difference you'll notice is you may notice your body is stiller, but the biggest difference will be the impact of your feet on the ground. Once you balance your arms, the impact will immediately lessen. So just the general impact will be less. But the other thing you'll notice is, and this is an absolute truism, this will apply to every one of you, that from one leg to the other, when I run with my legs balanced, the impact is about the same. The weight on the ground is about the same. When I go back to my normal run, what I'll suddenly realize is the impact is completely different from one leg to the other. So one leg is hitting a lot harder than the other. So in general, when I balance my arms, I'm lighter or with less impact, and I'm more balanced. So that's just the very, very first thing we do in virtually every first session with every athlete, whether they be almost an Olympic level athlete, or they're an absolute beginner, someone that's never really run at any stage of their life. So just balance your arms in a triangle, elbows move. Big point here is the lower limb, the lower forearm isn't involved, okay? I don't do this, because as soon as I do this, you can sort of see, I'll start to move my elbow down and away. I'll keep my hand at elbow level or above, okay? So we never say where to put your arm on your body, because we all have different lever lengths. Okay, so all you have to do again is simply in a triangle, hands at least elbow height, elbows move, and that's it. There goes the first one. And just lastly, the one thing I should say, so now that you're going to go for a run and you're going to balance your arms and you're going to get some balance in your feet and in your shoulders, okay, what we'll say is you just now do this for about 2 weeks, okay? And after about 2 weeks, you have a look at what we talk secondarily, but initially, just do it for 2 weeks, get yourself used to it, okay? Learn one skill at a time. We're not going to learn a whole bunch of skills in one go. We're just going to do one skill at a time, and that's the way we always work through the system that we use, okay? Through the Balance Runner system, okay? So basically, balance your arms, do it for 2 weeks, you'll be fine, and then look at the next video.